The North Dakota deer gun season continues on through Sunday, November 24th, and hunters are being urged to help with chronic wasting disease testing. And joining us this morning to give us the details on that is biologist Doug Leier from the North Dakota Game and Fish. And Doug, why is it so important that the hunters help out in monitoring for this?
Because we do not know if there's chronic wasting disease in eastern North Dakota. Our only positive tests for CWD have been out in western North Dakota. So we do targeted surveillance throughout the third portions of North Dakota. And right now we're doing targeted surveillance in the Red River Valley. Basically, we haven't found chronic wasting disease in eastern two-thirds of North Dakota, but we want to continue to monitor to determine that. So we're asking hunters to drop off their deer heads so we can test that and find out, unfortunately, if we have it, or if we are relatively statistically confident that we still do not have chronic wasting disease showing up in this region of North Dakota.
And so where should hunters be dropping off the heads of
So there's 100 different sites really actually scattered all across North Dakota because it doesn't matter if you might live in Fargo or Grand Forks and hunt in other parts of North Dakota. So we have 100 different sites. We've got them all listed on our Game and Fish Department website, but the NDSU Diagnostic Lab, West Fargo City Sanitation has a drop-off site. We've got drop-off sites in Castleton and in Grand Forks and in Enderlin. Really, we've had some great cooperation, and we really need to stress that. We've got cooperation in sites accepting the deer heads. We need the cooperation from the hunters because we really need to be testing these deer heads. And without the hunters dropping off the deer heads, we don't have anything to test. So we're really been fortunate to have such great cooperation from the hunters in the past. And we're looking to continue that moving forward into the future, Jordan.
And so some people might be wondering, I wondered this, could I look at a deer and say, I think that has chronic wasting disease? Do they act any different, or is there any way on the outside to tell?
No, and that's why we need those deer heads. The only way to tell confidently if a deer has died from chronic wasting disease is testing that deer head, which is why it is so important to get those. Now, the problem with CWD, it's always fatal. There's no shot that you can give to make them immune from it. There's nothing that they can take to recover from that. So it's always fatal, and it can be in deer and in elk and in moose. So it's a big concern in Minnesota. It's a big concern in North Dakota, and the testing remains a high priority. So we really appreciate being able to get that word out, asking those hunters to drop off their deer heads this fall, Jordan.
All right, some good advice. Hopefully the hunters will comply and keep it out of this region, or at least monitor it.
Exactly, Jordan.
All right, thank you, Doug.
You're welcome.